Right now in Brazil, there is a massive assault on free speech. Brazil's ban on X has started coming into effect in the past few hours. Justice Moraes is threatening Brazilians who use a VPN to access X with fines of up to $9,000 a day.
Things have gone so far as employees at X are being threatened with jail time just for working at the company.
How does one have a functioning democracy when a judge can just censor anyone who disagrees with them?
The idea here is that they will ramp up the censorship as much as possible because what is the one thing that they don't want? True populist movement.
Populist movements scare the elite, who now feel the need to control the narrative for their sake and our own.
We will hold social media platforms accountable for the hate infiltrating their platforms because they have a responsibility to help fight against this threat to our democracy.
Is real life a simulation?
There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
If you act as a megaphone for misinformation or cyber warfare, if you don't police your platforms, we are going to hold you accountable as a community.
Like, I can't be the only one who thinks this is not okay. It's the First Amendment. And for the people who are like, oh, no, it's a private platform and your First Amendment doesn't account. Shut the fuck up. Yes, it does. Because this is a government telling a private company to censor people's First Amendment right on their platform. That is the same thing.
So you said you were with the FBI? Well, you can't arrest me for freedom of speech. We live in America. All I've done is exercise my right on a public social media platform. So we no longer live in a free country and we can't say what we want.
You know what? We have to take our country back to where a place is you can disagree without being fearful for your life.
It is subjective to whatever these people who are in charge, they don't like. The fact that we are being censored so that way they get to put out certain messages, but conservatives don't. You ask any other TikTok conservative creator, we all know we're being censored. We talk about it all the time. Now, last week, my video on the UK riots skyrocketed within minutes. 7,000 people were looking at it within a few minutes. All of a sudden, it dropped down to 0 views.
The greatest perpetrator of misinformation during the pandemic has been the United States government. Misinformation that COVID was spread through surface transmission, that vaccinated immunity was far greater than natural immunity, that masks were effective. Now we have the definitive Cochrane review. What do you do with that review? Cochrane is the most authoritative evidence body in all of medicine and has been for decades. Do you just ignore it, not talk about it? That myocarditis was more common after the infection than the vaccine. Not true. It's 4 to 28 times more common after the vaccine. The young people benefit from a booster. Misinformation. Our 2 top experts on vaccines quit the FDA in protest over this particular issue, pushing boosters in young, healthy people. The data was never there. And we've seen something which is unforgivable, and that is the weaponization of medical research itself. The CDC putting out their own shoddy studies. You know, why did they salami slice the giant database? Because it gave them the result they wanted.
You're going to hear me real clear because I want to make sure that my ways to travel across this whole darn building because I'm that pissed that you all think that it's okay to do what you're doing.
Public health officials were intellectually dishonest. They lied to the American people. Thank you.
It's basically globalist central bankers and lots of related organizations trying to get complete control of human beings. Public health has been militarized, and the military has been sort of turned into a public health front. They are using public health language and public health laws to actually carry out a military campaign between the U.S. Department of Defense, the Federal Reserve, and the World Health Organization and the Bank for International Settlements. And the weapons that they're using are, number one, informational, that's the propaganda piece and the censorship piece. Number two, psychological, that's the fear and terrorism piece of telling people they need to be afraid all the time and they need to listen to the government. And then the third piece is the chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear weapons, which are called pharmaceuticals, vaccines, but are actually toxins and pathogens. This is what they're doing. They're doing war crimes.
My message to unvaccinated Americans is this. What more is there to wait for? What more do you need to see? We've made vaccinations free, safe, and convenient. The vaccine has FDA approval. Over 200 million Americans have gotten at least one shot. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us.